Hello everyone and welcome to Sunup. I'm Lyndall Stout. We have a real treat for you today, a look back at some of our favorite Sunup stories from over the years. But first, we're talking about the expiration of the Farm Bill this past week with Dr. Amy Hagerman.
So on September 30th, our 2018 Farm Bill did expire. We didn't get a continuation of that. The focus in Washington was more on the continuation of the budget. So we got a continuing resolution on the budget for 45 days, but we did not get a continuation on the Farm Bill. That's important because it affects some of the near-term versus longer-term impacts of that, and it also affects the timeline of when we might see conversation around a Farm Bill.
Sure. As we know, October, kind of a busy time for programs. What does all this mean for signups?
Yeah, so October, like you said, October and March, those are our two busy times for program signups. And we've got crop reports and things that go in. So the continuing resolution was very important because it kept our USDA offices open for people to turn in their crop reports, to sign up for their NAP coverage. But the Farm Bill actually has some longevity even beyond official expiration because things run on marketing years for a lot of our programs. So through the end of the calendar year, we're still under budget for current marketing years for a lot of programs, especially our commodity programs. And then also we can think about some of our permanent legislation that sits underneath the Farm Bill. So crop insurance continues going forward because it has permanent legislation underneath it. So for crop insurance and disaster programs, those will continue in the coming months. The big thing is our commodity programs if we go past the first of the year, because that's when we start going into new marketing years. Dairy starts January 1, then we start getting into the crops as we go on into the spring, and we're reverting to very old permanent legislation if that happens.
A lot of what ifs, obviously, on the table. What are you seeing or hearing in terms of when we might get a new Farm Bill or when they'll start turning their discussions that direction?
So because we are on a 45-day continuing resolution for the budget, I expect we'll see a lot of conversation around the budget in the coming weeks. That's really important for the Farm Bill as well because the budget determines the money for a lot of those programs. Some of the authorizations, we definitely need those in the near term, but the budget's very important for the Farm Bill discussion as well. I anticipate that we will get some sort of continuation on the Farm Bill that will allow us to bring Farm Bill discussions out into the spring at the very least. It's going to take time to put together a Farm Bill. The fastest we've ever seen a Farm Bill come together is about 7 months. So we know that there needs to be some time there to develop a Farm Bill, to get it through the entire legislative process it has to go through. So I do anticipate sometime between now and December 31st, we'll need to see either a longer continuation of 2018 Farm Bill programs as they stand, or perhaps a shorter continuation in expectation that some changes will occur.
It can be a kind of an anxious time for producers. Do you have some guidance for them as things progress?
I think just paying attention to risk management in general for your whole farm. Keeping in mind that crop insurance is under permanent legislation, how to utilize that for the operation. Thinking about those disaster programs, which are also on some permanent legislation for the livestock programs, although some of the crop programs are more ad hoc at this point, and just staying in close touch with what the deadlines are and what changes might be on the horizon. And OSU Extension will definitely be on the front line, making sure we know what those changes are, getting that information out to our educators so that it's being distributed to producers.
Of course, and we'll have you on Sunup anytime you want to be on. So,
absolutely.
Amy, great information. Thanks a lot, and I'm sure we'll see you again very soon.
Thank you.